Rain poured like the sky was grieving, soaking the cracked pavements of Karachi's silent midnight streets. I tightened my grip on the motorcycle handles, my heart hammering from the delivery shift that had stretched long past exhaustion. I just wanted to get home, collapse, and wake up to a day that didn't feel like drowning. But destiny, as always, had a cruel sense of humor. As I took a sharp turn near the abandoned textile mill, a black SUV shot out from the side street, fast, sleek, predatory. I swerved too late. The motorcycle skidded, tires screeching, and I slammed into the SUV's front bumper. Pain shot through my shoulder as I staggered up. The SUV door swung open. Out stepped a woman. Not just any woman, the woman. She was tall, dressed in a long black coat, dark hair cascading like sin, crimson lips pressed in a line that could make grown men confess their sins. Her presence sucked the air from the world. Her eyes, icy silver, locked on mine with a lethal sharpness. I'd seen her face before. Everyone had. Alina Khan. The Mafia Queen of the East Side. Untouched. Unchallenged. Unreachable. A name mothers whispered to keep children in check. And I, an exhausted delivery boy, had just hit her car. Perfect. You've got to be kidding me, I muttered under my breath. She stepped closer, heels clicking like countdowns to doom. I swallowed hard, legs trembling. Any normal person would be groveling, begging, apologizing. But something in her calm, glacial stare sparked the worst impulse in me, defiance. I didn't see you coming, I said, wiping rain from my forehead. You drove out like a maniac. The two men behind her stiffened instantly. Her guards. Both reached for the inside of their coats, guns, probably. But she lifted a single hand. They froze. Then, to my utter shock, she smiled. Not soft. Not kind. Slow. Sharp. Amused. Well, she said, tilting her head. No one has talked to me like that in a long time. I forced my breath to stay steady. Before I could think, her men grabbed me, firm, cold, efficient. The kind of grip that told me they'd done this countless times. I struggled, but one twist of my arm made stars explode behind my eyelids. Relax, Alina said coolly, her voice slicing through the storm. If I wanted you dead, you'd already be floating in the Lyre River. Comforting. They shoved me into the back seat of the SUV. Alina slid in beside me, crossing her legs with an elegance that made the entire situation even more surreal. Her perfume, dark roses and smoke, wrapped around me. The car started moving. What do you want from me? I snapped, trying to hide the tremor in my voice. Her answer came instantly. Your name. Our eyes. Our eyes. She tasted the name like it was a wine she was deciding whether to like. You hit my car. You cut me off. You yelled at me. You deserved it. Her lips curled upward. I like you. That makes one of us. Her laugh was soft, low, wickedly dangerous. The kind of laughter that could turn a battlefield into a playground for her. You have no idea who you're talking to, one guard muttered from the front seat. I know exactly who she is, I shot back. Alina leaned forward, eyes flickering with interest. And yet you're not afraid? Oh, I'm terrified, I admitted. But fear doesn't mean I'll lick your boots. Silence. Then, good. The SUV rolled through tall iron gates into an estate that looked like a fortress carved out of shadow and money. Guards stalked the perimeter with rifles. Cameras followed every movement. I was dragged out of the car, but Alina waved them off. Let him walk. The guards exchanged uneasy glances, but obeyed. She stepped beside me. "You're coming inside. We need to talk." "I don't want to talk." "You don't have a choice." Her mansion was breathtaking: marble floors, crystal chandeliers, massive windows overlooking a moonlit garden that looked too serene for a mafia lair. I swallowed hard, every instinct screaming to run. But I didn't move. Alina's presence wrapped around me like dark velvet, soft, suffocating, impossible to resist. She studied my face like she was memorizing every detail. "You intrigue me," she murmured. "Most people intrigue you by not crashing into you." She smirked. "True. But none of them have a spine like yours." Her thumb brushed the corner of my lip, sending shivers down my spine. "This is insane," I whispered. "No," she said softly. "This is fate." I forced myself to look away. "Just let me go." She tilted her head. "And lose the first person in years who dares to look me in the eye without trembling?" "No. I don't want trouble." "You're already in trouble." Before I could respond, the door burst open. A man stormed in, broad shoulders, dark suit, scar slicing across his jaw. "Alina," he said sharply. "We have a problem." She didn't move away from me. "What now?" "The Raza Syndicate breached the southern docks." Her eyes darkened like storm clouds. "Prepare the cars." He nodded and left without another glance. Alina turned back to me with a sigh. "Duty calls." "Great. So can I leave now?" "Not yet." She stepped closer again. "I need you safe while I resolve this." "I am safe." "Away from you." "No, our eyes." Her fingers slid down my arm, sending sparks through me. "From my enemies." "I'm just a delivery guy, why would your enemies care about me?" "Because you're with me." "I'm not with you." "You're under my protection," she corrected. "Which is worse?" Before I could argue, she pressed something into my hand. A silver pendant. "What's this?" "A tracker," she said. "If anything happens to you, I'll know." "I'm not wearing this." "You will." This woman was insane. And yet, something inside me hesitated. Not because of fear. Because of the way she looked at me, like I was the first real thing in her world of violence and deception. I wandered through Alina's mansion like a ghost, every corridor whispering secrets. Guards watched me closely, more confused than hostile. Maybe they couldn't understand why their queen cared about someone like me. Honestly, neither could I. Hours passed. Midnight melted into early dawn. Storm clouds faded into pale morning light that spilled through the glass walls, softening the edges of the mansion that had felt like a cage. I tried the exits. All locked. Every door guarded. Escape was impossible. Eventually I drifted into the garden, surprisingly peaceful, filled with jasmine vines and marble statues half swallowed by greenery. The scent should have calmed me. It didn't. Not after a night of questions folding into more questions. Why me? What did she want? What was I becoming tangled in? Footsteps approached. I spun around. It was the scarred man from earlier, the one who'd barged into her office. He studied me with cold calculation. "You," he said. "Come with me." "Why?" "Where's Alina?" "Not here." "Move." Every instinct screamed danger, but I followed. He led me to a training hall filled with weapons, guns, knives, swords lined like silver teeth. "You're trouble," he said bluntly. "And you're charming." He ignored that. Alina never brings strangers here. You're a risk. So kill me. His eyes narrowed. If it were up to me. I swallowed. He stepped close. Stay away from her. I can't leave. Then don't get comfortable. People around her die. His words struck harder than any threat. Before I could answer, distant gunfire thundered. The mansion alarms blared. A guard burst in, panting. They breached the east wall. The scarred man cursed and sprinted toward the exit. Chaos erupted everywhere, shouts, running footsteps, gunshots. My pulse shot up. This was because of her. Because of the life she lived. Because she dragged me into it. Suddenly, hands grabbed me from behind. A masked intruder. I struggled, but his grip tightened. Alina dragged me into a safer wing of the mansion, her fingers locked around mine with a grip that was both protective and desperate. We burst into a quiet room, dimly lit, smelling faintly of cedar and rosewood. She slammed the door shut, breathing hard, back pressed against the wall as if holding herself together. I'd never seen her like this. Not poised. Not deadly. Not invincible. Just, human. Alina, I said softly. You need to rest. She didn't move. I need to know you're safe. I am safe. No, she cut in sharply, stepping forward. You don't understand. When they breached the wall, all I could think about was losing you. But why? My voice cracked with the weight of everything she'd thrown me into. Why me? What am I to you? Silence stretched, thick, tense, fragile. She finally whispered, You're the first person who ever looked at me without fear or greed. I blinked. That's it? No, she stepped closer. The moment you yelled at me on the street. I felt something I haven't felt in years. What? Alive. Her fingers brushed my cheek, trembling slightly, something I never thought possible from her. I've been surrounded by men who bow, she continued. People who obey because they fear my power. Lovers who pretended affection for the sake of survival. Her voice softened. But you spoke to me like I was just a person. Because you are, I murmured. She laughed, broken and beautiful. No, our eyes. I lost that version of myself a long time ago. I stepped closer. Maybe not completely. Her breath hitched. Our faces inches apart. Her eyes searched mine, hungry, scared, vulnerable. Our eyes, she whispered. Tell me to stop, and I will. I didn't. Because I didn't want her to. Slowly, carefully, she leaned in, and kissed me. Soft at first, testing, almost shy. Then deeper, fiercer, pulling me against her like she'd been drowning for years and suddenly found air. My hand slid to her waist. Her lips tasted like danger. The sun had risen by the time we stepped out of the safe room. The mansion was recovering, guards patrolling, walls being repaired, alarms reset. Alina walked beside me, her hand brushing mine every few steps like she wasn't sure she was allowed to hold it yet. The scarred man approached us with a grim face. They escaped, he reported. But they left a message. He handed her a note. Her jaw clenched as she read it. What does it say? I asked. She hesitated. Then handed it to me. Your weakness has a name. A chill slid down my spine. They mean me? Yes. Then I should go. No, her voice was sharp, immediate. Alina. I said no. She grabbed my hands, her fingers cold but strong. They want you gone so I'll be distracted. They want me unstable. And are you? She met my gaze. Only when you're not near me. My heart twisted painfully. You can't protect me forever. I can try. And lose everything else in the process? She flinched. The truth was brutal, but undeniable. I wasn't a mafia soldier. I wasn't trained, armed, ready. I was just a man who stumbled into the wrong life, and found love in the darkest place. We stood in silence. Finally, she whispered, our eyes, what do you want? I took a long breath. I want you, I said honestly. But I want you without guns pointed at my head. Her eyes softened with something close to heartbreak. I can give you my heart, she said quietly. But not a simple life. And I can give you love, I replied, but not a dead body. For a moment, she looked away, like she was fighting a war inside her. Then she stepped closer, cupping my face with both hands. If I let you go, she whispered, will I ever see you again? I swallowed the ache in my chest. If fate brings us together again, yes. Her lips trembled. Then she pulled me into one last kiss, long, desperate, burning with promises we both knew we couldn't keep. A kiss that tasted like goodbye and forever all at once.